On today's episode of the Views from Section 400 podcast, it's a lot of head coaching talk. We grade every hire of the NFL head coaching carousel, and then we have some Michael of the Week on our 2-year anniversary of the segment, I believe. Super fun show, long show. We will see you guys soon.
And just like that, we're back.
A16, turn me up.
Welcome to episode 241 of the Views from Section 400 podcast. It is February 3rd, 2025. I guess I'll say happy belated birthday.
It's 2026, Brian.
Still doing
You're
this in
so
February.
close. Oh, I thought we got out of the rut, but
Welcome to episode 241 of the Views from Section 400 podcast. Today is February 3rd, 2026, and it's a day after Jack's birthday. But as we're recording this, it's Jack's birthday, so happy birthday, Jack.
Thank you, Brian. Much appreciated. Been a pleasure doing this with you the past few years. Let's keep going for a couple more.
Yeah, hopefully a lot more. I hope
Hopefully
we
a
do
lot
this
more.
till the day we all die. I hope we all die doing this podcast.
That would be awesome if we're all just like 70, living in Florida, just screaming at the TV. I would love that.
And
Absolutely love that.
one day we're all 95, and we bring up the Eagles, and we all just croak. It would do numbers. Do great numbers.
live on a pod.
All right, let's talk some head coaches here. We will preview the Super Bowl in the next show on Thursday, do a full-on Super Bowl preview. That whole show will be devoted to the Super Bowl. Not so much this show. We do have a lot of head coaches. I think every position has been filled now.
Yes, every single one. Every single head coaching position, yeah.
So might as well grade them because I'm
Let's do it.
sure they're going to be listening to us, and teams only take our opinion into consideration when hiring a head coach.
No doubt.
We'll go alphabetical order, I think. Maybe not totally alphabetical, but close enough. The Cardinals hired Mike LaFleur. I love this hire.
Yeah, I mean, the LaFleurs have had a pretty good time in the league thus far, so what's another one?
Yeah, and this is Matt's younger brother, and he looks like – I feel like Matt LaFleur tries to look like the cool guy, as a lot of the Shanahan coaching trees do. He has like the 5 o'clock shadow. He wants to look younger than he is.
The gelled perfect hair.
Yeah, it's very McVay, but he's not as good looking as McVay. Pause. But Mike looks like he's the younger brother. He looks like the cooler dude, and I think that fits Arizona well. He has the aura.
He looks like he cares less. Is that what you're trying to say?
He cares less, but he looks more put together.
Okay, a little more mature. Is that what you're trying to get at right now?
Maybe. I just think, like, when I'm just looking at the two, and I'm like, who would I trust to run my football team or babysit my kids? I'm going with Mike.
Look, I don't have an opinion like that, but my opinion on an offensive-minded coach coming into Arizona where you have spent a lot of high capital picks on offensive players over the past few years, like Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride. I mean, you got some guys there. You just got to be able to put it together and win some games, which we've seen a couple coaches come in there not be able to do it. Cliff Kingsbury, Gannon, there's been a lot of guys. So hopefully, I think this is a good hire for them. I'm excited to see what he can do in Arizona. Very tough division, and he knows it well coming from the Rams. But, I'm excited for them. This might be a good hire.
Yeah, he's a former college quarterback, played at Elmhurst University. I think that's D3. Their motto, when translated from Latin, is "In thy light, we shall see light," which he's done for quarterbacks, especially journeyman quarterbacks. He was the OC for the Jets in 2021. And Mike White threw for 405 yards. Josh Johnson, he got to throw for 317 yards. So Jacoby Brissett might have 5,000 passing yards.
Those are some very, very interesting stats that you're pulling right now. I don't know how relevant they're going to be.
Well, like when you think of journeyman quarterbacks that have been like around, you got Josh Johnson, Mike
So what
White.
are you trying to say that Jacoby Brissett is going to be the new starter there? Because he's the
Yeah.
journeyman. He's the journeyman, not Kyler Murray.
I mean, he got Josh Johnson and Mike White to throw for almost 800 combined yards. Jacoby Brissett was doing that without him. Imagine what he can do with him.
Yeah. No, like I said, they've got some offensive weapons. I do think they should be able to put it together. And, Buda Baker's not getting any younger, but he's still captaining that defense, and he's a heck of a player. They can make some noise.
Got our guy Owen Popoe entering his athletic prime, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
They got some guys. They're not going to be good, but I think they can at least where, on Red Zone every Sunday, whoever it would be the Rams or Seattle playing the Cardinals at 4 o'clock, and it'd be over by the third quarter. I think now we'll get some competitive games.
Yeah, I'm not expecting them to turn it around like the Jags or the Bears did and have 10 or 12 win season next year, but I do expect them to be a whole heck of a lot more competitive than they have been the past few years.
Yeah, just give us games that are fun to watch and fantasy players that we can roster. That's all Mike has to do.
Let Kyler Murray cook. Figure out a way to let him cook. He's a great athlete.
Great time to be a Mike in football right now, too. Next, we have Atlanta, Kevin Stefanski. Originally, I liked this hire, but the more I've thought about it, feels like Stefanski is that super old college professor that kind of hates his job. So he goes down to Atlanta to teach high school algebra, kind of have more fun, but he's just going to be overwhelmed. It's like Kirk Cousins going down there.
I mean, everything's got to be more fun and exciting than Cleveland. So I'll give you that. But at the same time, I think he's a good coach. I've said that for a while. He's won Coach of the Year once, maybe twice. But he's a great coach. Didn't have a whole lot to work with in Cleveland. He's got a lot to work with in Atlanta. I think it's a good hire. And I know, the Atlanta fans aren't necessarily happy about it. They were definitely a fan of Raheem Morris, but this could be good for them. Kevin Stefanski is a guy who can turn a running game into something like that, and you give him Bijan. I'm excited to see what can happen.
Yeah, I mean he's a fine head coach. He won a playoff game with the Browns, which I've said multiple times is equivalent to winning a Super Bowl with an organization that's normal. Also, we didn't give a letter grade to our guy Mike. So before we grade this one, I'm gonna give Mike LaFleur hiring a B.
And before I start grading this with letters, who am I basing this for? For the fans, for the organization,
Whatever, it's your grading index, the Jack Albanese grading head coaching grade index.
Okay, look, if I'm a fan of the Arizona Cardinals, I'm giving this hire an A-. Given who was still out on the market, given how desirable my head coaching job really is, this was a good hire for them. I really do think that this is going to be, I don't know if it's a Super Bowl winning move, but it's going to turn their franchise around a little bit.
I like that. I'm sticking with B. You're a little more optimistic than I am, although I do think the aura's there. For all the nonsense aura that Jonathan Gannon had, Mike LaFleur is going to pick that all up, and they're going to look like a competent organization again. All right, back to Stefanski. His track record developing, I guess you could call him mediocre quarterbacks, although Baker Mayfield's turned into an above-average NFL quarterback. It's not that good. I don't know if Michael Penix has enough talent to, I guess, outweigh Stefanski's track record.
Yeah, there's a reason why I didn't bring up Michael Penix and I only brought up Bijan Robinson in the running game is because that's what I've been able to see Stefanski do well, have a good defense and have a good running game and win the old, quote unquote, the old fashioned way, the nitty gritty way. That's what Stefanski, in my eyes, has been able to do very well. That's what I feel like he's going to try to do in Atlanta. They've got, like I said, Bijan, probably the most athletic running back in the game right now. I don't know. It's definitely up for debate. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely up for debate, but I don't think there's anybody else you'd rather have than Bijan Robinson as your number one tailback. And then on top of that, yeah, Brian, let's be real. And then on top of that, they've been trying to fix that defense in Atlanta for a while. Just spent 2 first-round picks on edge rushers this past draft. So, look, I think that he can turn Atlanta into something similar to what the Browns were with better pieces. Now, you don't have Myles Garrett, but you got pieces.
Yeah, it does help that, just like how we talked about Mike LaFleur going to a tough division, the NFC South is probably the easiest division. So you might be able to win by just handing the ball to Bijan and Tyler Algier 35 times a game. But I don't know. I can't see Kevin Stefanski hoisting a Lombardi trophy with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, not with Michael Penix at the helm, but at the same time, you look at what they've been able to do building in the trenches, and if he can turn them into the Browns with the best running back in the game right now, I think that's a winning formula. It might not be a Super Bowl winning formula, but in the NFC South, that's a playoff formula.
Okay, I understand what you just said, but also I don't think I've ever heard someone say if he can turn them into the Browns and a winning team.
Okay, like that's obviously
I understand
a lot
what
to
you
unpack,
meant, but
that's a lot to unpack.
Crazy
Calling
statement.
someone turning them into the Browns. Yeah, no. You know what I mean, though. A good defensive team, a team that can run the football effectively. Think Nick Chubb, 2-3 years ago. That kind of Browns. Yeah.
The Baker Browns. If he can make them the Baker Browns, that'll be fine. And the NFC's not that well. The Eagles are going to be better, but the NFC's not that difficult to get through. I guess you have Seattle and you have the Rams and you have the Niners.
The NFC was a lot tougher than the AFC this year.
Yeah, but if you can get the 6th seed in the NFC and get the 2 and 5 to knock each other out,
you can probably lock the NFC South in for a 4 seed. Just chalk it up right now.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to get the 4 and then you'd have to play the 5. Okay, yeah. So they're kind of screwed.
Just chalk it up to the 4 seed. I can't imagine a world where they're not.
Maybe the Panthers get a little better and then the Falcons sneak in.
Yeah.
But then you got to deal with Tyler Shuck. Maybe the NFC South's the best division of football next year. The more I'm talking about this.
No.
You got Tyler Shuck. You got the Panthers. Stefanski's Falcons. And the Bucks.
No. The Bucks are on a downward trajectory.
Baker's going to be healthier. Bucky's going to be healthy. Mike Evans will be healthy.
I'm not buying it. Lock it in right now. Bold prediction in February before the Super Bowl. The NFC South will claim the 4th seed again.
Yeah, they'll probably have the 4. But I think they get 2 teams in next year. I'm willing to – I don't know what we're going to bet on this, but NFC South will have 2 teams in the playoffs next year.
Although I will say we can't be betting too much NFC South without Matt here. He's a ride or die NFC South guy.
He really is, which I did not see coming at all when we started this program.
All right.
Grade for Stefanski.
I'm going to give this one a B. I'm going to give it a B.
I'm going to go B-.
I was thinking about a B+, but I can't be too nice out here. I'm going to give it a B.
All right. Next coach, we go to Baltimore. Jesse Minter. I am giving this, I'm going to grade it right away, an A+, just because this feels like the guy the Steelers should have hired.
Really?
It's a young defensive coordinator. Feels perfect for the Steelers. And the Ravens just said, we want you. And we'll get to what Pittsburgh did, but I like this hire a lot.
I think this is a good hire. I don't know if it's a great hire. My problem is Lamar Jackson, I feel, has stalled as far as the development goes. and he still has potential to grow. Like, I really do believe that. I mean, he's hard as heck to take down in the pocket. He's been making better throws. Well, at least we saw that last year. We didn't see that much this year. But I thought they needed to get not another, because Harbaugh wasn't an offensive guy. I thought they needed to get an offensive guy to pair up with Lamar, not a defensive coordinator who used to be in the Ravens building, and they said, we don't need you anymore. Send him out to LA.
Yeah, I do. So they got Declan Doyle, who helped Caleb Williams in Chicago, which Caleb Williams, I mean, he took a jump up. His accuracy was still terrible, which is a huge knock on Lamar. But I also think it's funny how they go from a Todd and a John to a Declan and Jesse. I feel like two guys that would lead a boy band, and then two 1950s names. But I like what the Ravens did. I have faith in them to kind of return to this perennial first round of the playoffs exit great regular season team.
And that's just like, is that really what we were looking for? That's why I'm not thrilled about this. You got Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, one of those three should be in the Super Bowl every year. Like, they are that good. And the quarterback position is that important. One of those three should be in the Super Bowl.
One of those three should have made a Super Bowl.
What do you mean?
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, have actually made. I know that, and that's what I'm saying. I need to see the Ravens do something to take that next step. Same thing with the Bills, and I feel like, and we'll get to the Bills in a second, but I'm not sure if we got there with that.
Yeah, I think that's why I have such an underlying love for Joe Burrow and the Bengals, is because they were that one. He's the one quarterback, and they're that one team to kind of break through. And Lamar and Josh Allen just haven't been able to do that. And yeah, like you just said, I don't think either of their hires really help them.
See, this might be controversial, but I think that if they had flipped it, the Ravens and the Bills, I think they would have been in better spots. Joe Brady, get him with Lamar, offensive guys. I think that would be successful. That's a 40 points per game team. And then over in Buffalo, doesn't matter who the head coach is, doesn't matter who the OC is. That Josh Allen's putting up 28, 30 points a game. You need someone who can actually stop an offense and a defensive-minded coach up there. I would have liked to see these two flip.
It's not a bad call. I like that a lot. I just think, I don't know, Joe Brady in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson might be dead by like week 6. The amount of red zone runs he gives Josh Allen.
That's kind of fair. That is kind of fair. Well, they're different sort of style players, but I still think that Joe Brady could draw up some schemes where that, instead of running power, you're running speed with Lamar.
Yeah, Joe Brady's playbook in Madden for a Ravens team would be a lot of fun to use.
Yeah. Speed options.
Who knows? Maybe Declan's cooking up something. I mean, with a name like Declan, he's got to have some disgusting plays.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, I don't hate the hire, but I don't love it either. This one's going to get a C+ for me, maybe a B-.
All right, I'm
feeling nice.
More optimistic than you for the first time in these three. I'm giving it an A+. Again, it would have been an A-, but it gets moved to an A+ because the Steelers should have hired Jesse Minter.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, we just talked about the Bills. Joe Brady.
Yeah, again, thought they needed to bring in a defensive coach, someone who could hold opponents down. Josh Allen's going to get his. You got to be able to stop the other side. Seen it with the Chiefs a couple times in the playoffs. We saw it with the Broncos this year. Then that got them eliminated. So, yeah, I don't love the hire. And staying internal is not always my favorite thing either. I think sometimes you need new blood, new fresh perspective, and all that good stuff coming into the building. So, not loving this one. Gonna also give it a C+ or a B-.
I'm sure Joe Brady's a great person, and he's clearly very smart, especially in football. But he just kind of looks like a young Sean McDermott, where he looks like he should be coaching an MMA fighter in a corner instead of football. And I think they both kind of coach like that. And I don't know if that's how you win a Super Bowl with one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
You send your son 2 years to Dagestan.
That's not how you win the Super Bowl.
No, that's crazy. I don't know why. Like you said UFC and Joe Brady, like Khabib just popped in my head. I don't know why he doesn't look like Khabib. He looks more like he looks like that WWE fighter Sheamus is what he looks like, the redheaded Irish dude. But regardless, let's get back on track. Don't love the hire. Went over it. I don't really have much else to say.
Yeah, I'll give it a C. It's average, fine, but nothing crazy.
Las Vegas. They're getting a new head coach, and it's Clint Kubiak, who will be coaching in the Super Bowl this weekend.
If there's one thing we know about a Kubiak as a head coach, it's he's going to win you 8 games with an awkward-looking white quarterback. Saw it with David Carr, Matt Schaub, T.J. Yates, Peyton Manning. I mean, I think I like this. I like it more than Pete Carroll there.
Yeah, Mendoza's going to be the next one to that list. But look, another topic that is sensitive to talk about when Matt's not here. But Pete Carroll just didn't have it in him this year, and I know Matt's big on him, but
that got swept under the rug. By the way, he was all over his sleeper team, the Panthers all year, and just swept under the rug. He said the Raiders were going to be surprised.
Yeah, his NFC team worked out pretty darn well. The AFC team not so well, but no, look, Pete Carroll's a legend. Got to give him some props. Hopefully he gets to see, hopefully his demons get to be killed this weekend as he sees Seattle win a Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'll bring this up again on Thursday's show, but you see there's a line, any pass attempted at the 1-yard line. Like some prop for like plus 600.
If anybody throws a pass at the 1-yard line, we should just boycott the game because it's rigged at that point.
I'm kind of hoping for it for my Austin Hooper first touchdown bet. I think I need a little play action jumbo Austin Hooper in the back of the end zone, but I saw that line and it made me laugh.
That's horrendous. I can't believe they would do that.
Yeah, I do like, and we'll bring Matt in here for our next coach here. But on Kubiak, I do like. So AJ Barner wasn't great by any means this year, but he had 519 yards, 6 touchdowns with Jackson Smith and Jigba taking up.
He was more of like a second half guy too. Like pretty much all those stats came in the second half of the season.
Yeah, Kubiak found ways to get him open, featured him at times, and then you had Jackson Smith and Jigba dropping 2,000 yards and all the touchdowns and whatever. Imagine what he can do with Brock Bowers.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, they're definitely going to need to get a receiver out there, but for Mendoza and Genty and Bowers, you add one more piece to the outside. I mean, they definitely need to revamp that offensive line. That was a huge issue too. But they've got some pieces to work with. Matt may have just been a year too early.
Yeah, maybe you move Michael Mayer over to guard. have him do a couple Nathan's hot dog eating contests in the offseason.
That's a big boy, yeah. A lot of 6 lineman sets. Let's do it.
I like I'm not gonna give it a better grade than I gave Jesse Minter, but I'll go A- for Kubiak.
Look, if I'm the Raiders and I'm able to get Kubiak right now, a guy who's literally about to coach in the Super Bowl, how could you not call this a smash hire? For them and for them alone, I'll call this like an A-. From the outside looking in, it's still the Raiders. Don't expect much, but I'm excited for them. If I was a Raiders fan, I would be excited about this.
Yeah, I like what you said there because it's important to remember their last 2 head coaches have been Antonio Pierce and Pete Carroll. So it's really only up from there.
Yeah.
All right. Matt, we'll get your take here on the Raiders hire.
I think it's fantastic. Kubiak is, I think, one of the best, if not the best guy. Again, we'll see how he looks in Vegas, but kind of reminds me a little bit of Ben Johnson last year, like the best offensive mind, I think, on the list. And I don't see him. I guess Ben Johnson came into a little bit of a better situation, but yeah, I love the hire. I think Adam Schefter already revealed he said it would be Titans or Raiders, but I think the Titans Cardinals or Raiders is what he said. But the Cardinals just hired somebody, I forget who, but Mike LaFleur. There we go. You guys already touched on that, but yeah, I love the hire. Love the hire. Seahawks offense was lights out all year at the hands of Kubiak calling the shots, and a good point there. I thought you were going to loop me in right when you were trying to trash on my guy AJ Barner, but I will not tolerate the Barner hate.
I was giving respect to AJ Barner.
There's a little jab in there, but I'll let it slide.
There was no jab. My whole point was AJ Barner.
I don't remember exactly what you said, but it triggered in my mind to say I'm not going to tolerate the Barners hate or slander.
I'll tell you exactly what I said.
Something. It was something.
Matt, we're barn burners over here. We're fans.
I'm a
huge Barner guy. Brian, you said something for it to trigger in my mind. I don't remember.
I mean, you're going to rewind this and hear exactly what I said. I said he had 519 yards and 6 touchdowns, and a good season, especially with Jackson Smith and Jigba taking up a bunch of the target share. And Brock Bowers, imagine what he can do with Brock Bowers.
I'll have to go back and replay the tape because
just getting angry because it's about your Raiders and AJ Barner.
Well, I mean, yeah, Jack snuck in some props to me. That needs to be clipped. But, yeah, I mean, the Raiders, maybe I was a year early. And by the way, Raiders beat the Patriots week 1. Who's in the Super Bowl?
That they did.
Oh,
That
okay.
they did.
On the road. Tough place to play, Foxborough.
Boom.
Yeah, I think that was the big survivor pool knockout for a lot of people.
Yeah, week 1 always kills people. But
All right.
I won't go through the whole list here, but love Kubiak to Vegas. Love that Vegas got out in front and didn't even mess around with Pete Carroll. Didn't try and, maybe one more year, maybe not, make a mess of that. They just right off rip, gone. And then I'll stand by Kubiak. Top candidate. Reminds me a lot of Ben Johnson last year, and love that he's going with a couple weapons and the number 1 pick, which, unfortunately not a great draft to have that pick, but we'll see.
Forgot how much you hate Fernando.
Do you think it's a great draft to have that pick, Brian?
I think it's fine. I don't think it's a good draft, but to have the 1 pick, I mean, Fernando's most drafts, he'd be a top quarterback.
It's no Trevor Lawrence, but
We'll see. We will see.
We're not getting into Trevor Lawrence.
yeah, let's go to Miami, where they just hired Jeff Hafley, Green Bay's defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I have 2 negatives here, 1 positive. First negative, his name sounds like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid character. Second negative is his name also sounds like a guy in 5 years we'll be thinking about as he was a head coach, a lot like Freddie Kitchens or like a Mike Munchak. But he's the exact opposite of Mike McDaniel. So I give the Dolphins credit for that.
Yeah, defensive guy. Not as nearly as awkward and what's the word like transcendent. Yeah, I didn't really want to use that word, but that's kind of where I was going. I think this is going to be a better move for them. They got to get back to some real football down there in Miami.
It's been a while. I don't know anything about the move. I didn't hear much about him in Green Bay. Not that you really do with coordinators. Yeah, almost can't even grade it.
Yeah, the last time this team was really even competitive, and I'm not saying they were that good, but the last time they were really even competitive is when Brian Flores was running the ship down there. I think they need to get some of that energy back, a defensive coach.
They made the playoffs with McDaniel, right?
They also put up like 60 points in one game. They had their flashes, but like when you look at the body of work, are you going to call that a successful coaching tenure?
They lost to the Chiefs. I mean, everyone.
Okay. So we'll create context there, Brian. You're absolutely right. They lost to the Chiefs on the road. They blew, and I mean blew the division down the stretch. They lost like 4 of 5, 5 of 6.
Yeah,
they were set up. They were set up for like the 2 seed at home in Miami. They lost 5 games or whatever crazy amount of games at the end of the year. Had to travel to Arrowhead in the wild card round. I mean, just like a complete 180. They blew up at the end of the year. So, sure, did they lose to KC on the road? No. They lost to KC first round. Yeah, you can look at that. But when you do a little digging, you uncover, you look below the surface a little bit. No, that was an all-time collapse. Imagine the Eagles did that. Oh, wait, they did. And they got killed for it. Crickets out of South Beach.
Yeah, that was a really bad collapse. They lost to Brandon Staley too in one of those games.
Oh, but they lost on the road to KC.
I mean, yeah, they did. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to not.
Look,
I also
Wait,
remember. I remember the weather report for that game was maybe like 10 degrees, and
Oh, it was snow.
the entire narrative going into it was Miami can't play in this weather, and they couldn't.
No, and the whole thing was the way they blew it up to like, okay, now this is what you get. Could have been playing in 70 degrees home playoff game, and now this is that might have was it the 60-point or 70-point game
Season.
year?
Yeah.
Was that on the game?
And that's and that's why I will say
42-38.
They weren't that good during McDaniel's tenure. Again, I stand by my original point. Then you go back to a Brian Flores type guy who I still think is I still think he's a better coach than half these guys that just got hired and want to see him have a head coaching job somewhere. But I don't know if that's going to happen again.
Yeah, I'm looking back at that schedule, and they were fake good. So before that collapse, they had 3 games in a row against the Lions before the Lions became good, the Bears and the Browns. And then they played playoff teams. They lost to the Niners, the Chargers, the Bills, the Packers, and then the Bills again. So, okay, I'll concede they weren't ever very good.
No. They
were just flashy.
Yeah, and just honestly think a lot of that falls on the head coach, which is what we're talking about.
Yeah, well, now you have Jeff Hafley, so I guess we'll give it a grade. I'll give it a C again, just like Joe Brady. It's like you needed to do something, so I'll give him credit there. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a solid B-.
I think when you're hiring a fresh brand, unless you're promoting from within, that's a different story. But when you're hiring like a fresh, brand new head coach, especially in the modern day, I think you should always, unless there's an absolute elite, legendary head coach, but I always hire young, and whether that's 30s or early 40s. So I know we already talked about it, but like, I think it was Jesse Minter or no, Baltimore head coach who hired
Jesse Minter.
No. Who hired Munkin?
The Browns.
Yeah, that we don't have that on here, I don't think. But
they're the Browns.
Yeah.
I was just saying that I'm glad it's the Browns. I thought it was the Ravens. He was the former. I think that's a horrible hire in terms of just hiring somebody very old in a position where you want to get younger, rebuild, retool. The whole way the Browns went about that, and I wasn't a huge Stefanski guy, but you got worse at head coach.
It seemed like it was down to him or Jeff Schwartz. And they kind of just chose the new guy.
Jim Schwartz, man.
Isn't it Jim Schwartz?
Yeah. Who's Jeff? Is Jeff Schwartz the lineman?
Jeff Schwartz? No, I'm thinking of Jeff Fisher, the old Rams
Jim
guy.
Jim Schwartz was the
Jeff
coach.
Schwartz is the Chiefs lineman.
He was the guy in Detroit for a long time who coached Stafford and Calvin and all them.
Yeah, Jeff Schwartz is the Chiefs lineman.
Yeah, I like him.
Anyway,
he didn't have a great tenure as a head coach, but I still like him. He's a gritty guy.
Who?
Schwartz.
He was with the
Jim
Eagles for
Schwartz?
a little bit, right?
The Eagles D coordinator.
He's
He's electric.
Kind of he's like a Walmart Steve Spagnuolo.
I think he won the Super Bowl as the Eagles D coordinator in 2017.
Yeah, Spagnuolo has like
as a head coach, he was a Walmart-esque head coach, but as a coordinator,
I mean, that's not we're comparing him to Spagnuolo with like 5 rings. It's not really a slight. I'm just saying there's like levels.
Throwing the Walmart in there.
I won't fight you. I won't fight you as much on it.
Let's get to our favorite.
Mac, maybe?
No. It's okay, Brian. Let's just get to our favorite hire of the cycle. Pittsburgh hires Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, for 52 years, the first thing people thought of when they heard the words terrible and Steelers were the towels. Now it's Mike McCarthy.
They're totally content with never, ever. Is it admitting failure? We're just saying we're okay with being mediocre. I'd rather go 500 than tank for picks and do a true rebuild.
Tinfoil hat coming on. This was all set up by Mike Tomlin. He said, "Oh, you fans, you're not happy with me making it to the playoffs every year? Hey, who's the owner? Blank, or is that
No,
that's
that's
the dude in
that's
Atlanta?
Atlanta. Oh,
Art
who is it?
Rooney?
Rooney? Yeah, Art Rooney. Hey, Art, look,
Maybe he died and it's the
you
kid
should
now. I
go.
don't
You
know.
should go
They're
hire
still
this
the Rooneys.
McCarthy guy. You should go hire this McCarthy guy. He's going to do great for your franchise. When they have a 3 or 4 win season next year, all Steelers fans are going to be wishing they had Tomlin back."
Hey, look, they need the 2 or 3 win season. So, and not that I talk to crazy amount of Steelers fans, but through the grapevine, I've talked to a few, and the fan base is kind of on board with, let's rebuild and try and get something going for the future here. So I don't know that they'd be all that upset. And next year's draft, I think, is supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, Jack, what you said I agree with, but so I think so the problem with Mike McCarthy is it's just another Mike Tomlin situation. You hire anybody else and either they do fantastic and you're thrilled, or they're terrible and you get to rebuild. Now you're still kind of stuck in limbo. So that's why I feel like the hire's just terrible. I don't think Mike McCarthy's bad enough he's good enough to get you 7 wins.
Is
But
he?
also, I don't think
Did
wasn't on any-
he command that respect when he was in Dallas?
Yeah, he got them 6 to 8 wins every year. And that's the worst case scenario you can have. Like, he's going to be the same thing Tomlin was, except the games that the Steelers somehow pulled out of their ass at the end, they're going to lose. So instead of 8-8, they're going to go 6-10.
Yeah, again, my tinfoil hat's still on. Tomlin said, "Look, we need a 3-win season. I don't want to be a part of that season. I'm going to take a year off, go lose, get me some good draft picks. I'll come back in a year, go win 10 games instead of 8." Tinfoil hat coming off.
I don't hate the theory. I feel like there were much better guys. They could have hired Jim Schwartz.
Yeah, he's with the Browns right now, though.
He would have taken a promotion.
I'm not Mike McCarthy was, I thought, out the door when he left Dallas. He wasn't. Who knows why he's? I don't know. Can't make sense of it.
It's a terrible hire.
He's not gonna let Will Howard have the reins either. So that just got shot in the leg, Brian.
Well, if Aaron Rodgers retires,
they're gonna sign Jacoby Brissett.
I hope not. I could
Only
see
they could be
Marcus
so
Mariota landing there.
Right? Like you could see some weird backup veteran come in and that's who they roll with. It's stupid. Give Will Howard the reins.
After the season Jaden Daniels had, I don't think Washington's going to let Mariota go anytime soon.
I don't know if they can afford to really pay back. They got a lot of holes to fill.
Yeah, I mean, I should have been in the front office. I was calling for the sophomore slump for probably right after the last snap of his rookie
Again,
year.
it doesn't count as a sophomore slump if he's hurt for half the year.
Yeah, tomato, Brian. We don't have to get into it.
He was good when he played.
Yeah, tomato, potato. Let's go.
He wasn't that good when he played at the end of the year.
Well, he shouldn't have brought him back, but he got hurt right away.
All right, man. We'll see. Look, year 3. This is the make or break. You got your year. I got my year. Year 3 to settle it.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can root for Jaden Daniels this year because the best coach hire of the cycle was in New York. Giants got John Harbaugh, A+++. The Giants are finally at the point, or no, they're not talented enough to be a Super Bowl team, but they're talented enough to fight for a playoff spot. But their coaches have been so abysmal the last couple of years that they haven't been able to do that. Harbaugh raises the floor. I think he can easily get them to 6 wins. And then if things go right, that's 8 or 9 wins, and they could be in the mix of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great hire because of the name. We know what Harbaugh is. I think we all agree he's an elite head coach, even though he won a Super Bowl in 2012 and hasn't done anything since.
He's a Zay Flowers fumble away from going back.
Okay, you can play the if game, but
Yeah.
It's a nice hire. It's a lot better than what they've done in the last couple of years. We can at least put that. They said we're done with trying to pick the diamond out of the rough. Let's just go with old reliable over the last however many years. He's got the name. He's good with the media. He hasn't coached in a big media market, but we're just kind of assuming he'll New York.
Pretty big.
No, what compared to New York?
Well, New York, Boston, and Philly are always going to be the biggest, but like it's not like he was coaching in Jacksonville or,
Wow.
sorry, Jacksonville or like Tennessee.
Wow. Yeah, are we sure this Harbaugh guy is any good? I think he might be a little overrated.
Okay, I should have said
think
Miami
he's
instead of
fucked.
Jacksonville just to not make you mad. But there's like Baltimore is at the upper top of the mid-tier markets.
It's a small market city, Brian. I don't care how you want to spin it. And it's
The Ravens are a huge the Ravens are a huge NFL franchise.
They are
big.
It's still just, I don't know. There's a difference there. I think the media also loved Harbaugh. And the New York media will love him too. But they won't be afraid, and it's the same in Philly and the same in Boston, that like when shit gets a little tough, I don't know that the media was as tough on Harbaugh in Baltimore when the going got tough as it will be in New York. I mean, Brian, you know the New York media, the guys at WFAN, SNY, whoever's going to cover the Giants, you know, that honeymoon stage is going to wear off quick if they start off 0-2, 0-3, 0-4, and so on. So I just think, you know, the media could run the guy out. He could be like, look, I'm 60 years old. I don't need any of this. Whoa. I don't know. Just a thought.
I don't see that happening.
Okay, that's fine. Nobody
around.
sees the things that I call, Brian, and then they happen.
The biggest part about the Harbaugh hire I like is the fact that Joe Schmo has been reverted into a pawn, and he no longer has power.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird interview he had there.
He's terrified.
Didn't really want to fully admit that he's had to kind of give up his power, give up the reins. He just kind of said it would be a cohesive effort, work in collaboration, even though everybody kind of knew that he got stripped of all his power, so to speak. So he's just kind of there. I don't know what opinion or analysis will be taken serious by John Harbaugh, but you know, Joe Schmo still has a job. So if he puts the ego aside, he's still got a nice paycheck. But other than that, you know, what's he doing there other than, you know, he knows how to figure out the financials and the contracts and not bankrupt the team. I don't know, but Harbaugh's that was the whole sell point was, hey man, you're the face of the New York Giants, player personnel, who you want, who you don't want, decision making. And John Mara made that pretty clear.
Joe Schmo is there to make sure MetLife is happy with their stadium naming rights.
Maybe.
Big job.
I don't know what it is, but it's not going to be decisions that affect the direct outcome of the team.
Thank goodness for that.
They
should promote his kid. Fire him and get his kid in the.
Didn't his kid say draft Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, get that kid in and have him learn under Harbaugh.
But they drafted Malik Neighbors, right?
Yeah, I mean, it worked out. But if they could have had any three of those quarterbacks, probably could have started this a year earlier.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Dart's exciting, though.
He is, but I don't know. Those three are looking – honestly, the four. But put Bo Nix in there, too. They're all looking like they're going to be franchise guys.
Yeah, giving a little bit of a flashback to the Mahomes draft.
I hope so. We need good quarterback play in the NFL.
I know.
No, actually, the problem is offensive line play right now, but we can talk about that another time.
Definitely can. But I guess to wrap that up, that's the narrative I'll go with is the media isn't going to be nice to John Harbaugh after he starts out 0-3.
All right.
Do we have the schedule released? Who do they got their first few games?
We know who they play. We don't. The schedule release is May, but the opponents are out.
I hope
Yeah,
that
that
stacks up.
Like
Obviously, the NL East.
NFC.
Or NL, NFC.
We released the clip of the Mets clip today.
We did do that. And I was looking at a lot of baseball stuff on Twitter today. So,
Dude, the Giants get a little taste of like the Patriots schedule from this year. They get to play the Browns, the Titans, the Cardinals, the Saints.
Saints will be a tough game.
Those are the first three teams you just said before the Saints. Those are all teams with new head coaches this year, so could be a little spicy.
The Saints, they kind of, very, very Panther-esque from the year prior of just kind of playing good football down the stretch.
Yeah, you missed my hot take. I predicted 2 NFC South teams to make the playoffs next year.
Yeah, it'll be the Saints and the Panthers.
Yeah, I have Panthers and then either Falcons or Saints, but I'll be happy with either one. Jack, they do play the Jags in Jet Life if you want to make the trip up for that.
Oh, good old Jet Life. Your Giants or the Jets?
The Giants.
All right.
Yeah,
I went up to Jet Life twice. What was it, like maybe 22 and 23? We had games up there for we were playing the Jets both times in New York for some reason, but
yeah, I was going to say the Eagles play in Jacksonville next year, so I was going to say we might have to do a boot. Orlando.
Wait, is it 26 or 27?
I feel like you should know. I thought we went over this and it was in Orlando.
The Eagles play the Jaguars the next time football counts for our respective teams.
Okay, that's still going to be in Jacksonville with limited seating.
How limited? Is the pool still open?
I don't know. They can't
get rid of the
still
pool.
be open.
What do you mean limited seating?
They're doing renovations right now, and
so it's not in Orlando next year.
No, 2027 is being played in Orlando.
It's not a new stadium. They're just renovating the old one.
This is what I thought I said.
They're renovating.
I literally
the stadium,
said this shit, yo, and y'all looked at me like I was a fucking moron.
It's supposed to be so different that it's basically a new stadium.
So they're gonna tear it down.
We're getting a roof, Brian.
Thank God.
Except it's some fancy roof that's not fully enclosed.
Retractable? Oh, so like the Hard Rock.
Yes and no.
I said this shit, yo. And y'all said, why would they play in Orlando and not? Why are they renovating the stadium and play in Orlando? And why wouldn't they just get a new stadium?
Well, they would still have to play in Orlando if they were building a new stadium.
Yeah, but you guys were making it like they're 100% getting a new stadium. They're not.
I was probably just listening to Jack.
I was pretty convinced that this was a new stadium.
Jack did is like make you feel like you're a moron attitude when I had that point. And it blew up.
All right, I got
wrong. Incorrect.
Here we are. Here we go again. Look, it's basically a new stadium. You want to get into the semantics, by all means, go for it.
It is a new stadium. It's at the same site. So they're tearing it down and then they're building a new one.
But they're not.
Dude.
What do you mean?
They're doing like renovations. They're not actually completely tearing it down to the studs.
It's going to take them 3 years to renovate a stadium.
They're literally building a roof on top of it, Brian.
That doesn't take that long. All right, Robert Saleh.
I was going to say, we got so off track.
I think to sum up the Saleh hire, you can look at the video of him calling season ticket holders and the season ticket holder not knowing who he was.
I'd be that surprised. I feel like I've been on the train that like Tennessee doesn't really have real fans.
I'm excited for this hire. I don't think he's going to be any good, but that's why I'm excited for it.
Oh, I get you.
See the
him and Liam Cohen have some beef, so it'll be good seeing that bad blood twice a year. It's not too many teams I hate more than Tennessee.
Yeah, I know the quarterback played better down the stretch. Is Robert Saleh the guy to mold him? I know they have a quarterback's coach, but head coach is still there, connecting with the QB. I don't know. He who was his QB? Did he coach Darnold in New York? Or was it just Zach Wilson? It was just Wilson
and Mike White.
Okay, so nothing really there. But I don't know. I mean, Tennessee's got so much work. I mean, if you want to talk about a project job, I don't know any other job on the list that's a bigger project. Maybe Vegas, but I think Vegas, with getting the quarterback, regardless of what I think of that quarterback, probably a better situation. Arizona, you still got Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison, the emergence of Mike Wilson. Trey McBride was a top 5 wide receiver. I know he's a tight end, a top 5 wide receiver this year.
I'm going to bet them to make the playoffs next year.
Defense sucks, but I mean, this is literally the biggest project head coaching job. I think Saleh could be, a little too much for him to maybe even handle.
Seems like
a lot of critical decisions that are going to be needed to be made. I don't know if he's the guy who's going to be able to steer the ship.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe yeah, but I mean, kind of same situation in New York with better pieces, good defense, and it just didn't work out.
This seems like a perfect stepping stone hire in the sense that Saleh will. Well, I mean, he didn't really with the Jets, but hopefully instill some kind of culture where they're used to winning 4 or 5 games and
he's
competing.
Not Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, but he's like a Walmart Mike Vrabel. It's like the Five Guys meme with the kid. Like you wanted Mike Vrabel champ, now you're getting Robert Saleh.
Like he wants to be Mike Vrabel, but he's not him.
Yeah,
but he'll do enough to help set the direction to somewhere kind of good, I think, for the next guy to come in and make them a contender.
Yeah, that's a lot of wishful thinking. They're gonna need some.
He's not gonna set them back.
They're gonna need some luck on their side. Well, of course he's not gonna set them back. They're already at the bottom. There's nowhere else for them to go.
I just said it's the project. It's the biggest project of the entire list.
They're in the pile of shit. They're not below the pile of shit. They're not the Jets or the Browns.
Why? Because they were able to draft their quarterback last year?
Yeah, they have Cam Ward. Shamir DK is fun. He probably sells jerseys.
Yeah, they're going to need a lot
to
go right for them. It's not looking good over there.
Getting a new stadium too, though, no?
Yes.
Aren't they on the new stadium list?
They are on the new stadium list as well.
They're going to build a baseball stadium where Nissan was. That's my tinfoil hat.
They could.
They should.
Eagles are in murmurs of finally going to the Dome.
They're going to go to Chinatown?
No. They're not going to pull a Josh Harris billionaire hardo move. That gets blown up by the city as well. They're just, I don't know. Maybe they do a Jacksonville and try and build a roof on the existing stadium. Not sure how that's going to go.
Well, I don't think you guys can use whatever we use considering the snow. It's like one of the things about it is it doesn't hold a whole lot of weight, and luckily we don't get a whole lot of snow in Jacksonville.
True that.
As much as I love domes, there are a few cities that need to have open stadiums. Philly's.
Oh, here we go. Here, Brian's not all dome now.
A wild 180 that I was not expecting.
No, there should
have some integrity, dude.
Yeah, it's first it's this, then it's that.
No, every stadium should be a dome except Philly, New England, and Cleveland.
I'm sure you're gonna have something new to say when the Pacific Northwest wins the Super Bowl next week.
Oh my
So,
God!
here we
Speaking of
go
which,
again.
it's gonna be the Super Bowl in Santa Clara. It's gonna be the fourth quarter of the game, and the sun's still gonna be out. It's really gonna piss me off.
Will it?
Those highlights, like, yeah, it'll be 6 o'clock local time.
Well,
He's the
Brian, hate to
aesthetics
burst your
guy.
bubble, but I think like the first 10 Super Bowls were played at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
They were, but they weren't on TV.
Yeah, they were.
Tape delay. They
I
weren't.
just watched it like over the weekend. I watched Super Bowl 1, I think.
Yeah, Matt was telling me he was watching season 1, the NFL.
Big Vince Lombardi here.
I had maybe had it on for 10 minutes and had enough.
Yeah, the Super Bowl didn't until they started doing actual halftime shows and not like marching bands and Disney ads. That didn't count.
Okay, well, just thought it. Still a Super Bowl, so thought it would be
Yes, sir,
fun
Supreme
to
Leader, sir.
point
Did
out.
they have light stanchions? What's it, the 60s? When they start building lights in stadiums?
I don't know, but it was during the day.
Coming from the guy who pulls out quotes from the 1860s. Are we really arguing this now, Brian?
Well,
It's-
but like light fixtures are pretty new development, I feel like.
Can you say that again?
Lights in stadiums are fairly new development.
70 years at least.
Oh, yeah, well, like, okay. 1935 was the first baseball game. That's a long
Under
time in the
lights.
scope of baseball.
Yeah, so it's 90 years.
So Wrigley Field didn't add lights until 1988.
Yeah, there's still some kind of
Well, Wrigley is
Wow.
also like, it's like old and historic. Like it probably wasn't built with lights originally. They had to add them in.
well, that and it's still a law in effect in that jurisdiction or town. I don't know the exact, but in Wrigleyville. That's why if you ever notice, you guys will pick up on it now. When the Cubs have a home weekend series, you'll see their Friday game is played at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Something with not allowed to have, like, they're only allowed a certain amount of night games at that stadium because it's some kind of law. So upcoming MLB season, every time the Cubs have a home weekend series, you'll notice that Friday game is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which if you know baseball, Brian can attest, weekend series, especially on Friday, are always a night game.
Yeah, they do that.
They're the only ones who have and I always wondered, I'm like, why the hell do the Cubs play their Friday home games at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? It makes no sense. Something to do with the law, only allowed to play a certain amount of night games during the year. So probably why they didn't get lights until the late 80s.
I respect that.
All right, nothing like starting a Super Bowl week with an hour on the NFL head coaching search, and nothing like continuing a Super Bowl week with our Michael of the Week. Sponsored as always by SeatGeek. If you're going to the Super Bowl, you're going to drop $6,000. Might as well save $20 with code VIEWS400 at checkout. That's views from 400 for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase.
Boom.
Let's start the Michael of the Week off with the birthday boy. Jack, what is your Michael of the Week?
Yeah, my Michael of the Week is the Michael of the Week. 2 years. 2 years since we've been doing the Michael of the Week segment.
Yeah, good
The
call.
Grammys were just last night, inspired by the Michael album, I believe. Was that, or was it a guy named Michael? I actually don't remember the story.
By the album.
The album's Michael by the artist Killer Mike.
Yeah, well, shout out Killer Mike for giving us the Michael. The album of the year this year was Kendrick Lamar's GNX, which, you know, fan or not, probably a little bit more deserving. So nothing crazy really happened this year at the Grammys. I guess we won't have a new segment that stemmed from them this year, Brian.
No, the biggest takeaway from the Grammys we should probably stay away from, and I won't bring up. But yeah, we're not going to have anything to do with the Grammys this year.
Okay, all right, staying away. Thanks, Mike.
There is a conspiracy theory though.
Oh, here we go.
So Bad Bunny won, and Bad Bunny's a great artist, but he won a lot of Grammys, including the True Album of the Year. GNX won Rap Album of the Year, which is a category that Michael won.
Right.
Do we think it's the NFL just pouring money at the academy and saying our performer needs to win Album of the Year? This is 2 years in a row now. Kendrick won 6 last year, and now Bad Bunny takes home Album of the Year.
I did, that thought did cross my mind as Bad Bunny had all of the, I mean, look, regardless of just winning the awards, he was involved. Like the host went up to him like 4 or 5 times, tried to get him to do a whole performance, brought a mariachi band out behind him just to try and get him to sing a note or two. So yeah, there was definitely a little bit of Super Bowl promo going on here. He also, the word Super Bowl was probably mentioned 5 to 10 times during the Grammys. So yeah, yes, there's no tinfoil hat needed for this one.
Now, the real question is, does Drake re-enter his music into the Grammys if he ever gets the nod for the Super Bowl? That's when we'll really know.
No, he's on a different path. He's on the Jay-Z path where he doesn't need any of that stuff.
Calling Jay-Z a pedophile?
I'm calling him one of the most successful artists of our time. And Drake is in the same light. That's all I'm saying.
Kendrick, by the way, passing Jay-Z for the most Grammys by a rap artist. Kendrick, Jay-Z, Kanye, now the top 3. All right, Matt, you're Michael of the Week.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if I was watching the news or the Grammys last night with all the political talk they like to throw out there. But my Michael of the Week will head over to the LPGA Tour. Maybe a little bit of a loser, but this past weekend down in Orlando, I understand there's a cold snap. Usually a 72-hole tournament, 4 days, Thursday to Sunday. Some of the conditions dipped into the 20s, sub-freezing. You hit your approach shot onto the green, and it's like the ball's landing on concrete and stuff like that. So they cut from 72 down to 54. So it was a 54-hole event that ended on Saturday. Where I have an issue and where I don't understand is aren't we in 2026? Don't we have weather forecasts? Why was the whole tournament not canceled to begin with? I understand the logistics behind it, the sponsors, the this, the that, but how can you crown a champion, give somebody the title, and you in the middle of the tournament you cut it down to 54 days or 54 holes, and you knew the weather forecast the whole entire time. Nothing changed the first 3 days. So one, let them play the 4th day. They've already endured those conditions the first 3 days. Or don't have the tournament at all. You know what the weather's going to be for the entirety of the weekend before the weekend happens. So that's my Michael of the Week, because I thought that was pretty ridiculous that they'd crown a champion after 3 days when the playing conditions would have been the same on Sunday that they were the previous 3 days. So I don't know if that's a Michael of the Week or not, but something that stuck with me today. I know it's the LPGA Tour. If it was the PGA Tour, they probably would have stuck it out and played a 4th day. Not saying anything about guys versus girls, just kind of the nature of how things go in that realm. But yeah, LPGA Tour cut short to 54 holes, even though the conditions were the same. I don't know. Either cancel the tournament entirely or play out the last day.
So,
yeah, it just sounds a little mismanaged.
Totally.
Is this a ploy from Live Golf? Now that they're losing their men, they're trying to get the women, and they're like, hey, 54 holes, pretty fun, right? Not as long.
Well, the LPGA Tour is governed by the PGA.
Yeah,
So
but there could
Liv
be
has nothing to do with this.
there could be a Live
Send it
Golf
in the
fly in
storms.
there.
Undercover
call this
Live agent.
Yeah,
Undercover Live
agent.
agent. Maybe. I mean, that's a total conspiracy that I think you're the only one that is brought up. But
They all got to start with one person.
yeah, they would have to get probably Nelly Corda, who is the one who won the tournament. But yeah, only after 54 holes. So I suppose I don't know. Just like Jack said, I think said it perfectly, and they touched on that on the Golf Channel. Just a complete mismanagement of the tournament. Either cancel the event or play the 4 days. I mean, like to give them the crown after the 3rd day. I mean,
how rich are
lot.
the Cordas? So they got Sebastian and Nelly.
They got Sebastian, and Nelly like wins golf tournaments left, right, and center. Sebastian's good at tennis. He's on the tour, but he's not like lights out winning tournaments left and right. I mean, Nelly Korda, I would say right now is the equivalent to Scotty Scheffler in the girls' game. Obviously, Scotty way better, but like comps wise to like the women's field versus the men's field, she's for sure the Scotty Scheffler. Maybe the like rate of winning isn't as high as Scotty, but the wins are there. And if you're going to compare her to a men's golfer, it'd be Scotty Scheffler.
She comes into every tournament as a favorite.
Has to. Yeah. I mean, she's at the top. She's in the top 3 of betting favorites every single tournament if she's in the field.
There you
go.
go.
Have 2 kids that good at individual sports. Gotta be.
It's crazy. And to be golf and tennis too.
Got a lot on your mind, Brian?
I mean, it's gotta be a loaded family. I've never heard of the Korda. Maybe they own like a hedge fund or something.
You never heard of the Korda family?
Yeah, come by the Giants Korda.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know about Nelly. Like I knew about Sebastian for years, but Nelly just kind of like, oh shit. He has a sister that plays pro golf, and then like
the kids, but like, what the hell do their parents do?
Kind of just, I don't know. You got the Kordas, the Pagulas are out there. Which, by the way, didn't I say Pagula the tennis was a fraud? What you get straight setted, not even close in her match, like literally not even close.
Tough for her.
Like literally got smoked.
Gonna have to ask Will to mute that one.
Okay, so they were just both very good at tennis, their parents. Gotcha. Peter won the 1998 Australian Open. So that's how they made their money.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts, but yeah, that's my Michael of the week, if that's even a legit one, but
that counts.
We'll take it.
Only time I would have been able to share.
It's way more legit than mine.
LPGA Tour golf news.
Yeah, they don't get featured on Views from Section 400 too often.
No, they don't. So squeeze it in, and not really highlighting the woman, but more just the mismanagement of a tournament.
We might talk more women's sports on this program than we do like NHL hockey, maybe even NBA. No, that's a lie. Summer we do some NBA.
NBA will heat up here after the Super Bowl, so NBA college basketball will heat up.
We do love our tennis.
Tennis is, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, we talk a lot of women's tennis, so maybe we do.
Whether you guys want to talk about it or not, it does phenomenal numbers on our TikTok.
Yeah, I like talking tennis. I like Steve.
Oh, well, Steve's the GOAT.
I don't think Jack said he disliked them.
Shout out the Drop Chop podcast. All right, we'll round it out with my Mug of the week. Remember how Alabama got an NBA G League player to come play on their team?
I do remember that.
Yeah, so they just played Florida. And per ESPN research, Florida is the first SEC team in the last 20 seasons to score 70 paint points against a major conference opponent. Guess what position that G Leaguer plays?
Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't they have like the 7'7" guy on their team?
Yep. Charles had 6 points, 7 rebounds in 24 minutes. Alabama was out-rebounded 44-33, and they were outscored 72-26 in the paint. They scored 77 total points. So if Florida just would have shot from the paint, Alabama would have only won by 5. They lost by 23.
Yeah, I mean, anytime I see Bama get crushed, I'm happy. And honestly, I was thinking about making this somewhat of my Michael of the week. Like I was more trying to figure out how not to just make it Alabama as the loser, which is why I ended up staying away from it. I just couldn't figure out a way to do it without it. But good job bringing in the G Leaguer. But yeah, no, Nate Oates has been awesome to watch on the post-conference pressers, post-game pressers. Love seeing him cry and moan and complain about things while he literally has a professional G League player on his roster and he can't figure out how to win games. It just makes it so much sweeter. Auburn going into Florida just last week, getting the win against them. And then here it comes Alabama with their professional bought team and can't get it done. Love it.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of in the back of my mind, thought that Auburn may have awoken the beast that is Florida's second straight national championship team. Because since Auburn beat them in Gainesville, they've beaten South Carolina by damn near 50, and they just dismantled Alabama.
Yeah, we definitely played above. We fought above our weight in that game, and it was a really nice win against Florida. But you're right; they have absolutely. Golden looks like he got punched in the mouth, and he's coming back swinging way harder. I'm not excited for that.
No,
And that's why they're going to be a top 10 team by next week.
Oh, for sure. They're really, really good. Arizona
Florida?
Michigan is going to have to save us.
Who, Florida?
Yes.
I know they've been all right, but I don't think they're as good as they were last year.
They haven't looked like it until these last couple of games. They've absolutely just killed teams.
I still don't know if they're as good as they were last year.
They're not as good as they were.
Walter Clayton was just incredible.
Not as good as they were last year, and it's also a mix of the SEC is not nearly as good as it's been either.
I'm just saying Florida has looked good. And it's scary.
Okay, that's fair. You be worried. Arizona's not losing. And if they are, it'll be Michigan. So,
well, look, those are still my two favorite teams as well, but
I wonder why.
I said top 10.
You did say top 10.
yeah, I mean, they could sneak in.
I think there are a lot of good college basketball teams this year. You know,
Yeah,
for
the
Auburn,
top 10 has like 20 combined losses.
yeah, for Auburn to not even be a top 25 team. Look, I know we're not bad. I'll tell you that right now. We're not a bad team. I would not want to see us in the tournament. We're not a top 10 team, but top 25, we can't crack that right now. There's a lot of good college basketball teams.
Yeah, Auburn's going to be the team, and we'll have our bracketology coming out this week, by the way, first of the season. Auburn's going to be that team that probably be in the 8-9 matchup that the 1 seed will want to see less than the team they're playing. So they'll be rooting against Auburn. But Auburn still probably doesn't have enough to take down that 1 seed.
I don't like them in the 8-9 spot, but if Auburn is a 10 seed, I love them to make a run.
I like that too. The 2s aren't that special this year, at least how it's shaping up.
No, and like the 10 seed still has like the Cinderella aspect, even though Auburn's a big school. And like, I don't know, they could get some juice from that.
We could be a 7 seed. We could be on the other side of that 10 line.
Yeah, but 7 single digits, and then that kills it.
There's no swag there. There's no aura there.
Shabazz Napier was 7, I think.
Yeah.
But that's like the only 7 I can really think of that made a run.
You need a double-digit juice in March, man. You need it.
The 11's where you really need to be.
The 11-12 is juice.
We're not going to be that low.
The 11-12 is juice.
I mean, if Auburn struggles, they could be a first 4 or 11. But I don't think they'll struggle that bad.
No.
I think their lowest, their floor would be the 10.
Ceiling could
And
still
what
be
do you think your ceiling?
Ceiling could be a 5 if they go on a run.
I don't think they'll get the 5. They have a tough schedule coming
I was
up.
going to say, I'm thinking
they go on a run. Yeah.
I'm thinking a 7 seed is probably where we're going to land. So maybe 6 is the ceiling, maybe 5. Well, I mean, to your point, Matt, if we do if Todd Pettiford decides he wants to start hitting shots again like he did last year, if Keyshawn Hall can continue to drop 20, 30 points a game, yeah, we could be a 5 seed. I mean, the ceiling is definitely there.
It's like they
have a
get
path.
hot. They get hot and win the SEC tournament.
That's all Brian needs to hear. They got a path.
I mean, they have the path to the 5 if they can beat Alabama, Vanderbilt, and then Arkansas on the road. In these next 3 games, they're positioned to get a 5.
Arkansas is also like not very. I don't care what their ranking is. They just lose to they beat Kentucky.
The issue is
No, they
Kentucky's
lost.
not that
They
good.
lost to Kentucky.
they got
they did?
Yeah.
Kentucky's like not that good.
they waxed Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's fake good.
We
Beat
beat them
Texas
once.
Tech on the road.
Texas Tech is always fraudulent.
You got JT.
All right.
No
On the
stopping
basketball
JT.
court. All right, that's Michael of the week. I have one more thing, Jack. If you have a few minutes, would be awesome to get your insight. But the NFL 9 international games have dropped. We have locations we've been to before, but we'll get everyone's reaction. There's 3 new locations. We like doing rankings on this show. Should we rank the international games? Should we do all 9? I guess there's 3 games.
Let's do like a cut 5, keep 4. Cut.
How do you want to do it? There's 3 new locations. There's 9 international games, but only
Just go the total locations and we'll power rank them.
there's 7 total locations because there's 3 games in London.
Okay, we're just counting London.
Yeah, we don't
as
have to split up the Tottenham and Wembley.
Yeah.
No, so London will just count as out as a location. So
London.
7 locations. Do you want me to just read them off and
Do
we
it.
can rank them? All right. So first one, obviously London. Second, Madrid, Spain. New location here, Melbourne, Australia. We just
Wow.
Oh, maybe
We got it.
Paris isn't last.
That's
we
a
got
hike.
it. We got a hint of that this past 2 weeks. Melbourne, Australia is where the Australian Open is played. So that football game might be on at 3:00 in the morning on the East Coast. Not good. Not good for U.S. fans. Okay. This location's been played before. Mexico City, Mexico. The next one is Munich, Germany. And the final 2 are new locations. Brian hinted at one, Paris, France. And the other one, which I guess they didn't play here because they've been to this country, will be, I guess it's Rio de Janeiro. I don't know where they played, where the Chargers played last year and the Eagles the year before. But just to run through it again, London, England, Madrid, Spain, Melbourne, Australia, Mexico City, Mexico, Munich, Germany, Paris, France, and Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Would be curious to see how we power rank these. Obviously, probably start at number 9 or number 7 and work our way towards number 1. I don't know. I don't know what's good, what's bad. Brian, you were hate on Melbourne, Australia. I think that'd be kind of fun, other than the time difference.
I gotta ask you what I asked Brian earlier when he gave me this sort of question. Who am I doing this like?
Your
perspective-wise?
rankings.
Like as a fan, or if I'm a player?
As a fan, as you, as Jack.
I think that's fair. Like,
Am I traveling to this game?
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know.
Take it all into it's a comprehensive
think-
review. If you're a player, if you're a fan, if you're a coach, if you're a local, I don't know.
Man, everybody gonna have a different perspective.
All right, so should we not rank them then? I thought it'd be fun, guys.
I'm
Yeah,
ranking-
we're ranking.
I'll go first.
We're
I'll go
ranking
Melbourne
them.
last, Paris second to last, Munich third to last,
Over Mexico City?
Rio de Janeiro fourth to last, Mexico City fifth to last. What's the other one with London?
Just London is in England.
Paris? You don't think you said Paris?
You
Yet?
said
French
Paris.
people suck, dude. They're gonna throw. If you thought Kevin Patullo's house got egged, imagine all the Paris people throwing eggs. At
Yeah, dude. I think the common trend is we effing hate the French.
I missed one though.
Madrid.
Oh yeah, London second to last, Madrid top.
Madrid's the best.
Yeah, so I go Madrid, London, Mexico City, and then I'll work backwards. Then last is Melbourne, second to last is Paris, third to last is Munich, and then I'm missing one again. But yeah, they'll figure it out.
All right, before I give mine, Brian, how is Australia the last on the list?
Like, I
Just
think
from a
Australia
perspective
is
from
sick.
everybody. Like Matt said, it's probably going to be in the dick of dawn.
The time
gotta
zone
travel
is
day.
going to be ass. The time
Even if
zone's
you-
going to screw that up.
Even if you give it to the California teams, it's still like 15-hour flight.
Here's something to think about. They could have that game at 8:00 at night on Saturday because that would be
8 a.m.
One or,
Sunday.
no, it would be 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon Melbourne time. If they have that game 8 o'clock, it'll be Sunday at 2 o'clock in Melbourne. So they could do Saturday on the US, on the East Coast. We got a little Saturday football early season. Think that changes Brian's perspective a little bit here.
No.
They'll probably
make
it at like 2 a.m. in the East Coast, though. Like,
I'm gonna do this as a fan traveling to each of these games, putting Mexico last. No interest in being there. Probably putting London second to last. They've got the worst food on this list. I'd like to go to Paris and Australia, so they're going to be higher up on the list. Munich's got some good football fans. They'll be right in the middle. London, I already told that's bottom of the list. Rio's pretty cool. That's up there too.
They've like hosted games in London though. Like it's what you're gonna get.
That's what I'm saying.
It's fine. London. The product's fine.
Screw London. No.
I'm saying are a little more than
I'm saying if I'm a fan and I'm traveling to one of these places, I'm out on London, I'm out on Mexico, I'm in on Spain, France, Australia, Rio. That's 7. What am I missing?
You're gonna get your shit.
I'm in on Germany. Oh, that's 7. All right, cool.
Yeah, I think the two worst for me would be Mexico City and Rio, Brazil. I just think not great areas. I know maybe beautiful for Rio, but I do know there's some pretty sketchy areas there, like not great. Same with Mexico City. So that would, I feel like, not be the most ideal. Madrid, Spain, like sure, cool, but again, there's soccer fanatics. I don't know what the fan base looks like there. Melbourne, Australia, as a fan in America, just because I think the time is going to be really wonky unless they do like an 8 or 9 o'clock on Saturday night, which 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock here on Saturday night would be 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday, Melbourne time. So I don't hate it. Throw the Seahawks and the Chargers there. I mean, that's West Coast. I mean, it makes sense. It's a 6-hour flight from LA, maybe a little longer from Seattle. So there's an angle there from California. Am I a little bit off?
No, I think it's like 15.
I think it's pretty hefty.
All right. Well, you don't put an
24
East Coast
hours from the East Coast.
You don't put an East Coast there, team. That's there. That's my point. My point is throw Seattle and the Chargers there.
15 hours, 40 minutes.
From LA?
From LAX.
All right, so it was a little bit off. Everybody.
Wait, how long?
15 hours, 40 minutes.
Okay.
It's a chartered flight.
Let's see Seattle. Seattle would be
17.
Yeah, you're probably just adding 2 hours.
17, 18.
Well, this is a big difference. It's between 16 and 22.
All right. Well,
what do you mean between 16 and 22?
I think you need to stop somewhere.
Maybe you just go both LA teams. Give me the Chargers and the Rams in Australia.
Yeah, don't they usually refuel in like Hawaii and then finish a trip?
They could. I mean, if you do both LA teams,
play the game in Hawaii.
You can get there nonstop. If you go both LA teams.
It's not enough money in that, Brian.
You can also probably get there nonstop 16 to 18 hours. They have planes that can do that.
Yeah, we're talking team jets here.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be able to get it done. But there could be a layover or a quick pit stop. Yeah, I kind of like Australia, other than the time difference for us sucks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'd love to see the Jaguars play another international game that's not London, because I would be.
Dude, they're tied there.
I know they are, and that's the problem. Like Shad Khan almost bought Wembley a couple years ago, so I know we love London.
Close to relocation there.
And no, I didn't say that.
Might go.
Did not say that.
Does the
Buying the
construction crews take a little
stadium.
longer than you would
No,
like?
no, no. He's
Buy
That'll
building
the
the
deal.
stadium of
They're
the
not
future
fully. They're
in
not fully
Jacksonville. He is
committed.
invested.
They're not fully committed to
All
building a new stadium. They're doing renovations.
Also, Stadium of the Future is the dumbest name I've ever heard for a
You know what,
stadium.
Brian? While I'm at it, you.
Trevor Banks better than Stadium of the Future.
Yeah, it is. Germany's probably my favorite, man. I think they kind of German fans resonate the most
Now I got
with
it.
American football fans. So
Now I got to text Will saying I cursed again.
you do. I know we're running tight on time here, Jack. You're trying to jump out of here. Don't have to do the London, but do we want to try and take a stab at what games will be played there, or is that going to take too long and too much brain power?
Well, the Jaguars are going to go
The
over
Jags
there.
will be there. The
Jags will be in
there.
London.
The
All right,
Jags-
Jags,
Rio, Brazil.
Rio wasn't Rio the Bucks Philly game?
No, we had Packers, Eagles, and then last year we had Chargers, Chiefs.
It's the Quentin Johnston game.
Yeah, on Netflix.
Rio. That feels
Rio.
like
That feels like a Chargers kind of.
Bears, Vikings.
Don't hate it.
No, the Vikings are going out to
No, they got to
Europe.
put the Vikings in Germany.
Yeah,
Nine's
exactly.
got to be in Germany.
Exactly.
It'll be so if we go common trends. Brazil's only been a thing for 2 years. The first year was NFC, second year was AFC. So I would want to think this is NFC, and it will be. Here's one for you.
I like Tampa.
Seahawks, Falcons.
I don't know
in
if I like
Brazil?
Seattle. Seattle all the way down in Brazil?
Dude, the NFL has given up on accommodating travel.
How about the
They're
Cowboys?
freaking going to Australia.
I
for
could see
crying out loud.
I could see the Cowboys down there.
Seahawks, Cowboys.
Jerry's not giving up a game. It's going to have to be a road game.
Well, they have to be a road game, yeah.
I'm sure it would be.
All right. Who the hell goes to Paris, France?
I think the Saints are locked in.
Oh, the Saints are locked in. You're
That
right.
makes sense.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Oh, God. I think they play the Giants.
I was gonna say the Giants would be a good one out there.
Giants.
That's the most PSG like team.
It'll probably be a Saints home game at least.
Yeah.
So you're good there. Munich, Germany. I think we do Patriots, Falcons already there. So
yes.
Vikings.
No,
that sounds right.
That was Falcons, Colts.
Oh, was it?
I think that was Jonathan Taylor overtime game.
Did we get
Or was that
Vikings, Patriots in Germany?
Oh, are we talking about last year? The Patriots played in Germany this past year.
Oh, they did. All right, so not them. I like the Vikings as a lock for Germany.
Yep, it just feels right.
Well, they want to do a divisional game there because Lions could be a decent one, but I don't see them taking a divisional game and putting it internationally. That would be
Who do the
dumbest
Vikings
thing.
have on their schedule? Can they play Stanford?
What?
2026.
Where are you going with this?
Okay, they have. Would they put the?
Could we do Vikings Bills? I also have
Vikings,
no idea who
Bills.
the Vikings play.
They do play the Bills, so their home games.
Vikings in Germany seems fun.
They have the Panthers, the Commanders, the Dolphins, the
Dolphins will get their own
Falcons, and the Colts at home.
The Dolphins feel like Mexico City or Rio or Spain. One of those
the
three.
Dolphins from Mexico City. Well, they just played in Madrid against the Commanders last year.
Right. So maybe they get Mexico City or Rio
Mexico
this year.
City.
Or maybe maybe they loved them out there in Spain and their return team.
They did one already, right? In Mexico City, and it was the Raiders and the Chiefs. So they have gone divisional outside the country.
Wasn't the
Who was the
Jared
Eagles?
Goff versus Patrick Mahomes crazy game in Mexico City?
No.
I don't know. I thought it
Chargers
was.
and-
I thought
No,
they
that
did
was in
Raiders.
that was like in Arrowhead.
And I guess last
No,
year
I think that was
Chargers,
Mississippi.
Chargers, Chiefs.
Goff,
Uh,
Mahomes to start the year like 2 years ago.
No, it was in like 2018.
Goff on the Lions.
No, Goff on the Rams.
Oh, I'm thinking Goff on the Lions.
Oh no, it was in LA. Yeah, the 54-51 crazy game.
Yeah, but that was like middle of the season.
They played these in the middle of the season.
I thought you were talking about. I must have just completely misheard you from the start. I thought you were talking about opening season.
No,
game.
no, just Mexico City game.
My apologies. Matt, who did the Eagles play on a Friday night to start the season internationally?
that was Brazil. They played the Packers.
It's the
That
game
was
Jordan Love got
Packers.
hurt.
Okay. For some reason, I thought that was the Bucks.
No. Played the pretty high scoring game.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
Saquon went off.
I don't think they liked the field, though. Am I
No, the
correct?
field was kind of ass.
Yeah, that's
Um,
always the scare with these international games.
Yeah, the field wasn't great.
All right, boys.
Yeah, I think that'll do it for today's episode. On Thursday, we'll see everybody. Full Super Bowl, whole episode, Super Bowl preview. Maybe
Lock
some
it in.
special guests too. We'll see you then.
Ooh,
Let's
surprised
do
they
it.
used